Sex positive parenting it's a judgment-free zone. It's a space where, two people are coming together, having a conversation, or even having a preempted conversation, layering conversations over time, over years, just creating a space where a child and a parent can come into a conversation without judgment, without ridicule, without, saying the wrong thing, and being able to present then an environment where a child and a parent can start having these conversations that can sometimes be uncomfortable, that sometimes can be like, oh, I was ready my whole life to say, but then being able to give the information in the timing that it's provided. Um, it's also an opportunity to create an environment where it is secure and safe to be positive.
The internet has given the world a whole lot more space to be able to celebrate our differences and to celebrate our similarities. And so in my neck of the woods and the people that I spend time with, yes, I have a lot of people who freely talk about sex positivity and who freely talk about not being, letting colorism not be an issue. But there are still things we don't know what happens when the kids walk outside the door.
And then sex positive parenting. To me, that means just embracing your child, whether that's their gender, their sexual relationships, their sexual health, their overall sexual well-being. And I think sometimes we get caught up with that word sex.
I'm so grateful to be here and to have a platform to kind of shed light on the experience of being the daughters of porn entertainers and the importance of just sex positive living, period.
One of the things that was, surprised me, especially as I looked less at mainstream porn and adult content, that you did see more pleasure when you saw more amateur style, where it was just an iPhone, you got to see more of the natural pleasure that was there. So it was great then, as an adult, finding amazing companies like Royal Fetish. Shout out to Inca and Foreplay Films. We did a private DM because I would screen a lot of her work when we started showing more responsible, ethical porn that exists, also more pleasure of different orientations and body shapes and ethnicities as well. You don't just see one type of person and body that is allowed to receive and accept pleasure.
I have seen a whole lot of change in every aspect of the industry.
Yeah.
Like from start to finish, production to release. It's so much different. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because even, when I started, the way that we purchase content online wasn't quite the same. I've watched video store after video store go out of business. And so, I'm sure for you have some of your work on video.
I do.
Look at you. My start is in DVD.
People with disabilities express their sexuality in ways just as diverse as everyone else. As a matter of fact, a study by the Center for Research on Women reported that women with and without disabilities reported the same levels of sexual desire, whether those women could communicate verbally or not, whether those women had physical disabilities or cognitive delays or not, they all had the same levels of sexual desire. All people are sexual.
Another thing to consider is that intergenerational and intercultural QT plus experiences can differ. And so it's important when talking with folks or working with folks who might identify at these intersections of generation and culture, that their experience of certain discourses, all of the ones that we've named so far and that we'll continue to name, may be different in that they may, they may include some kind of cultural or religious or maybe even like geographic nuance. And they might even show up in different intensities. Like some ideas may be more emphasized or less emphasized in different cultures or across different generations. And so it's important to think about that when working with QT plus people.
Either so much of our identity especially the people that have been on this call, are sharing like so much of our identity, or a big part of our identity is how we are intimately. Some of these topics are a matter of dignity and life and death.